Welcome to the Rantoul Roundup, where we round up the news so you don't have to. In this episode, I've got Janet Brotherton talking to us about her new venture. And Nate Jones, our favorite local DJ, oh, I'm going to get in trouble for that one, is here to talk to us about all the fun things that he's been up to lately and the services that he offers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited. Janet Brotherton is with us today, and she has some news.
Hi. We have finally finalized the purchase of the Linden. It's taken a moment. We started in 2024 and we finally did get that done. And I'm also glad to say that Millie Roseman was a part of that before she passed away in the fall. So we have been very well received by the family, and they've been very gracious to us to make the transition. So we are on full mode facelift.
Yeah, you are. Tell everybody a little bit about your plans and what you guys are hoping to do.
Okay, we do want to continue to keep it a banquet and event center,
Mm-hmm.
uh, mainly because we think it's really a wonderful asset to the community because we know that the Rosemans and family were very gracious to nonprofits and organizations
Mm-hmm.
in using that space,
Yeah.
and we want to continue to do that. We didn't want it to get away from the community in that way. So we are going forward with events that have already been scheduled. We have some weddings, we have the
Mm-hmm.
prom coming
Yep.
up, and then we are going to be adding our own events. We're hoping if the facelift and the carpet removal and the floors go as planned, which they never do,
Never do.
that we can hopefully have an Easter breakfast
Oh, that would be
buffet.
lovely.
So
Yeah.
that's our goal. That's our end goal is April 5th. But just put that on hold until we know for
Yep.
sure. And there's been some confusion that, oh, I'm moving the bridal shop out there, which is,
Right. We wanted to talk about that.
yeah, is not the case. We will continue to operate Lindsay Lane Bridal downtown
Mm-hmm.
in our location. I'm very blessed again to have my daughter with me, and we will continue that. Some hours may be different, but we will be there, and we're hoping that we can do a lot of networking between the two.
Yeah, I think it's going to be lovely. Now, the one thing you haven't told my listeners is what the new name is and what it stands
Okay.
for.
Well, I've said it's kind of like the State Farm is always going to be Assembly Hall to
Right.
many of us,
Yeah.
so it's probably always going to be the Linden, and that's
It's
just
fine.
understandable.
Yep.
But the name that we came up with is called Timberland Grove, which is our son is Tim and our daughter,
Mm-hmm.
so it's named after them. So Timberland Grove, and but we understand if people just
Call
still
it the
say the
Linden.
Linden,
Yeah.
I will do that too.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I would just like to say I was very happy with your parking choice on Wednesday
Oh.
because Vicky had told me that she was trying to edge you into that spot. And so
Hmm.
I'm glad you're going to keep Millie's parking sign there. But
Well, we'll keep her sign up, and
yeah.
that it's Millie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Millie's legacy, and we just want to make it better. And we're just really, again, very blessed that Vicky is going to
Yeah.
stay on with us as our full time food manager. And it's I that's her
Yep.
game. That's not
Yep.
my game, and we'll just try to grow that as we go. But yeah, we're very fortunate to keep her, and then some of the other people that helped
Mm-hmm.
out on certain events will still be
Be there too.
helping us out. So
Yeah.
and then we'll incorporate as we grow it, and we need more people. We want to bring on some more help, which is what it's all about.
Would you want to talk about the soups and the other
Okay.
ideas that you
Yeah,
have?
one of the things that we had thought about was that we have Exchange Club
Mm-hmm.
every Wednesday at noon. It's probably been there for 20 years, and
Yeah.
we have our meeting and our lunch there. So we're there anyway.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, maybe we could have something called Simply Wednesdays, which would be later in the day, like say 4:30 to 7:30,
Mm-hmm.
and we would have simply sandwiches one week, simply soups, simply salads, and just make it at, a small affair where people can just get out before they go to church, or if they have meetings or they have sports,
Mm-hmm.
they can just get out, and that way get people in the door. That's what it's all
Yeah.
about. Is, it's amazing because, yeah, there are people that have lived here or know Rantoul and say, I didn't know this place was out
Correct.
here. And maybe they'll go to an event, they'll go to the chamber banquet, or they'll go to a wedding and they'll say, oh, I didn't know this place was here. So that's going to be some help that I'm going to need with marketing,
Right. Yeah.
because up to this point there hasn't been a lot of that, and so we want to grow
Yeah.
the that visibility of it. So
Of course.
hopefully we can
Well,
do that.
I'm kind of hoping that you'll be able to come on as much as you want and tell me about all
Every
the fun
event.
things. I keep trying to get her to do line dancing, but she's not budging. So just so you guys know.
Well, one of the things too that we talked about is that because when Gordyville changed the ownership,
Yep.
The flea market kind of lost its
Yeah.
space. And if you ever go, if we've gone to Third Market in Bloomington for years and years and years, and it's, if you like to thrift, if you like to antique, it's so fun.
Mhm.
So we thought, we may go ahead and have a swap Sunday on the first Sundays of the month, at
Yeah.
least from maybe May till October, and see if we can get some of those vendors, and they could have it inside space, they could have it outside space,
Yeah.
and just again generate some traffic back into the, because that was a big draw
Yeah.
at Gordyville for all over the area. So we've kind of lost some of that coming into the community. So
Yeah.
if we can get some of that back.
I will say points to Gordyville though. They just had that big tractor pull this weekend, and they brought a lot of people in. I was in a couple places downtown this weekend and ran into some people. So they've shifted. So it'll be nice opportunity for you, but still it's nice that they're having people come in as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great things. And then I'm going to request while we're on air, quote unquote, that I get you in one more time before the 4th of July celebrations, because we don't have things locked in, but I know you have plans.
Yes, we have some
So
plans
once
there,
we
and we
get
finalize
closer to that, we'll have you back on.
Yeah, and
talk
we'd
about
like
that.
to get Candy Foster down
Oh
here.
my gosh, yes.
Maybe,
let's go.
Maybe for the Father's Day kickoff, and just incorporate some different kinds of events and some fun times. Just come out and have a good time. And meanwhile, at the bridal shop, we're in prom mode, so we get both sides of that, and that's a great thing too.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, and just get the word out.
That's what we're
all
doing.
We want to do
we're
is
getting the word out.
And we'll
real quick before I forget though, if they want to find information out about what you're doing at the Linden, how would you like them to start looking for that information?
Right now, we'll probably be just doing it through Facebook, because we haven't really set up a website yet. But basically, they can always reach me at Lindsay Lane Bridal, and then we have that email address, and they can always reach out to me. We're going to be using their phone as still,
so the
their
Linden
existing
phone number is still
and then I will be actually, the marketing will say my cell phone, which will be a contact. So you can always reach out that way. So and I know you can always call Susie at the Chamber of Commerce, because we are a member.
Yep, and Susie will be happy to help direct you in the right direction as well.
But again, we just want to thank the Roseman family for all of their graciousness that they have given to us in the transition and making it work. And it's been a moment.
But we got there.
We're excited. Yeah, we're excited. Thank you.
I can't wait to see you. But you've known the whole time that I'm like, yes, let this happen. So it'll be good. It's going to be really great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got the one and only Nate Jones. Nate, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
I wanted to have you on for many reasons. I'm hoping we don't laugh our way through this interview, but we'll see how it goes. Tell us what you're currently up to, and just what's going on and how the business is going. Explain to the people what you're doing now.
Yeah. So I am the owner of Nate Jones Entertainment, formerly known as Nate Jones is Your DJ, which was kind of the first incarnation, but I've kind of expanded that, moving into a couple of other different services. And so it's more than just a DJ service. It's
Right.
actually going into full on entertainment production
Which is
services.
great.
Yeah.
It's right in your vein, up your
Yeah.
alley.
Yeah.
So tell us, what do you have to offer these days?
All right. So, what I do is I specialize in I guess production entertainment for private events
Mm-hmm.
is kind of the easy way to call it. So handling anything from primarily weddings, but also bar and bat mitzvahs, public events,
Mm-hmm.
school dances,
Mm-hmm.
any kind of backyard parties, things like that. The thing that sort of sets me apart from other businesses like this is that I do look for more elevated type events that take place in
Right.
fancier places. So you wouldn't necessarily see me just kind of in a shack somewhere, but more ballrooms,
Right.
elegant dance halls, things like that.
Although
So
we have seen you on the back of semi trucks
I
for
have
parades,
I have done
which
semi trucks.
you've done for us for the chamber and helped with in the past few
Yes.
years, which we absolutely love.
Yes.
But I love that you're doing the elevated stuff too.
Yes.
So that's pretty good. How busy is your schedule these days? Are you staying pretty consistent through the wedding season?
The wedding season, yes, which
Mhm.
is the wedding season usually starts anywhere from April going up until mid fall.
Mhm.
So kind of through September. September, kind of mid October. Pretty busy during those times. Right
Mhm.
now, it's not very, very busy. It's a little slow.
Which is why we get him on camera, because he's never home. So
Yeah. Yeah. So during the winter months, kind of after November, nobody's getting married during those months, November to
Yeah.
March. Nothing
Yeah.
is really happening.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a quiet time for me, but we've got prom season coming up.
Yes.
So dealing with a lot of proms and school dances, and also end of the year parties,
Yeah.
graduation parties, things like that. And that's kind of what I am focusing on and preparing for.
That's fantastic. It
Yeah.
sounds really good. If you had an ideal client or an ideal situation, if somebody new wanted to get in touch with you, what would that ideal client look like for you?
Uh, so if we're talking weddings, I'm just looking for cool people. People who really value music.
Yeah.
People that don't just want me tucked away in the corner in the background, but they want an actual elevated experience,
Mhm.
and for them, to be a little bit on the cocky side and flex to their friends a little bit, say, "Look, check out this." I've got the setup. I've got
Yes. Yeah.
an elevated setup. It's not just a folding card table. It's
Right.
not just me sitting behind a facade or whatever. But I actually kind of pay attention to those little
Yeah.
details, the lighting, sound enforcement. It's not two big black cabinet speakers. It's
Mhm.
actually something that kind of fits in line and makes sense with the type of event that we're putting on.
Right. We were really lucky. Nate did my mom and dad's 50th wedding anniversary, and that went off so well. He customized the playlist and worked with them, and it was just really nice to have him there, not only for them, but to help us put off the vibe that we wanted to put off. And I think we did a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that was fun.
but that was before you were doing all the bigger stuff. We
Yeah.
just got
But
lucky.
the same kind of
Yeah.
philosophy applied where, I'm paying attention to those
Yeah.
details, thinking about what do your parents like, but also what
What
do you
everybody
like?
else
What does
likes.
everybody else
Yes.
like? And kind of paying attention to reading the room and understanding how the music works, and just making it fun for everyone,
Yeah.
kind of including everyone into that, not just your parents.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
So where can everybody find you guys? He's so active on his socials. If you're not following him, please do, because every once in a while I get a really good giggle out of some stuff. I'm just like, what?
I would start with my website, natejonesdj.com. There it has all the videos. It has ways you can contact me. It tells a little bit about my background, where I came from, and all that good stuff. And then I've got links to all my social media on there as well.
So speaking of your background, You're a Rantoul graduate.
Yes.
You're here locally still, or
Yeah, no,
so
I live on a farm just probably 10 minutes away from here.
your wife grew up here as well. Amy's from here.
Yeah.
You guys have stayed very committed to the community, and we all appreciate that, right? What was your experience like growing up?
So we moved here in the middle of the Air Force Base being here. And
Yeah.
so I was an Air Force brat. And, you know, living on base back in the 80s or whatever, it was a great time to be there. And, you know, my dad, he was a master sergeant. So he was, you know, had a high up position. And I ran with a lot of the, you know, kind of kids my age and just caused trouble, kind of a big time troublemaker. But also I was really involved with, I was pretty much involved with a lot of things in Rantoul, everything going from Boy Scouts to karate, uh, hanging out at the YMCA, playing video games, going over to the pawn shop and getting comic books. So, you know, and then even after that, after the base closed, my dad decided to retire that same year and said, you know what, I think we're going to go ahead and make Rantoul a home. We wanted to go ahead and stay here. He ended up going back to school and got his teaching degree and then became a social studies teacher in Rantoul. So, yeah, we weren't going to go anywhere, and just really deeply rooted in the town here. And so from that point, going through high school, I got involved with a lot of music and theater, and started a band back in the
What?
day. Yeah, started a band, and I, you know, at the time, it was the late 90s. And so we were just trying to do what we saw,
Right.
you know, on MTV and things like that. We were trying to do the Rage Against the Machine and Korn and Limp Bizkit thing. It was, sorry guys, it wasn't very good. But from that experience, learned all about, you know, how to work a crowd, how to work an audience, reading the room, seeing if people are liking the music that we're playing, or if not, let's maybe make some tweaks to our music and see if we can play stuff that can bring people out onto the dance floor and you know, slam dance or whatever was big at the time. But we had a gig where they wanted us to play for 3 hours. The only problem is that we only had 20 minutes of music.
Oh my god.
So I had this idea. I said, you know what? I've got a CD player at home. I've got every Now That's What I Call Music disc. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and bring, I think at the time they were just up to Now That's What I Call Music 15. I think they're up to like 60 now.
Something.
But I got all those discs. I brought them out. And then, you know, we would play 2-3 songs live as the band. And then we would say, okay, Nate's going to go ahead and play some music. And then, you know, I would go ahead and play some CDs for the next 20 minutes. The band would come back and play another 2-3 songs. And then Nate's going to play some music. And based off of that, like, it somehow kind of worked. And so someone there saw me and they said, hey, we're having this backyard party. Leave the band at home. Bring your CDs and just play some CDs. And that's kind of how the DJ career got started, was just doing that. Someone there saw me and said, hey, we're having an anniversary party. And I said, sure. And then someone at the anniversary party said, hey, my grandson's getting married. Can you do his wedding? And I said, okay. And
and that's just how it kicked off.
That's how it kicked off. That was 20 years ago.
So. And you made a great thing out of it. It's just awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on today. I appreciate it. And we'll have you back when you have some cool stuff going on and, you know, need some people to attend. But thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This week at the Fringe, Wednesday, per usual, you've got Atomic Bingo. Thursday is Smokin' Aces Poker. Friday is that $15 pizza deal where you get pizza, breadsticks, and 2 drinks for that $15. Saturday night is Music Bingo with Maggie, as you can see. In other news, the sports complex is back up and running, and I've heard they've got some new food out there. So you might want to head out, check things out, see what's going on. We had a lot of families in this weekend for the complex and for that tractor show that we talked about out at Gordyville. So be nice when you see new people around, say hello, share your favorite stories about town and whatnot, and let them know that we're as welcoming to them as we are to each other. Busey has their open house on Thursday from 5 to 7 at the new location. They've already got the ATM up and running. They're in there doing their thing. So I think it would be great to show some support for the new building. Just be careful of the traffic. It gets a little tight in the turn lanes. Thursday, also, the Chamber has their business after hours at Villas of Hollybrook. That's going to be on the 12th again from 5:30 to 7:30. If you would like to attend that after hours, please get a hold of Susie at the email address below. This weekend, Saturday, it's that day. It's the shortest St. Patty's Day parade, hosted by Mix 94.5 and a couple local businesses. One of them is ET's. Kim is doing a corned beef and cabbage with red potato special. They're going to have Reuben sandwiches and Irish stew. Come out for a little while. It's the kickoff is at 11. We're also going to have the shortest marathon. Susie, is that right? Yep, she's shaking her head. Yep. So that's going to happen on Saturday as well. I'll put a little link somewhere around my head. On Monday the 16th through Tuesday the 17th, the Rise Above traveling exhibit for the legendary Tuskegee Airmen will be in town. So there's a bunch of different things that are happening. It's free admission. It's a family-friendly event. It's going to be out at the Aviation Center. You can visit the Village Hall of Rantoul's Facebook page. We'll put a link to that somewhere. But if you have time, I highly suggest stopping out there and seeing this exhibit. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to the men and women who served in our community while we had the base open, and this would just be a nice little thing to do for them. I also noticed that the senior luncheon is coming up on March 19th, and if you want to register for that, you can do that online or you can call the rec department. That's going to be at 217-893-5703, or just bug Andy. I should make that a hashtag bug Andy. And get signed up for that senior luncheon. I know a lot of you guys are liking that. Well, that rounds up the roundup for this week. Try to say that 10 times fast. I hope everybody's enjoyed this episode. We'll see you again in 2 weeks.